Hey everybody, I'm Big Mike and I want to thank you for joining today. We've got Stan from MultiCharts, which is going to be talking about MultiCharts 7 and talking about their new free version of MultiCharts for the discretionary trader. I also want to just talk about a few things going on this month. So for those of you that don't know, BMT has turned 2 years old this month, and that's kind of what's going on. That's our special anniversary event, and is the reason that we've got all these extra webinars, more than usual, and giving away all these prizes and etc. So I want to talk to you about that just for a minute. So already this month we've given away 2 out of the 5 BMT Elite memberships. We've already given away 2 different people have won 2-cent commissions for 30 days. That can be a real money saver. Just a couple days ago, we had a webinar with Surya Dadella and have given away 10 autographed books. MultiCharts is the webinar that you guys are in right now, and you'll be happy to know that MultiCharts is giving away 2 lifetime licenses to the platform. In addition, we also have 2 more prizes where the winner will receive 2 hours of custom programming. So if they have an indicator or a strategy that they would like to have coded, you'll notice a theme of 2, for our 2-year anniversary. We've also got NinjaTrader coming up next week, and they'll be talking about their platform. We've got NinjaTrader giving away 2 round-trip tickets from anywhere in the world to Las Vegas for the November Traders Expo. And they're also giving away a 2-year license to NinjaTrader. And then finally, at the end of the month, we've got Al Brooks, and he's coming on and talking about his new books. He has 1 book that probably most of you are familiar with, the Price Action book. He has 3 new books coming out this year, and we'll be giving away 10 autographed copies of your choice of any of those 4 books. Okay guys, so the way this works, if you want to win any of the prizes, the first thing that you need to do is have a username on BMT. Okay, so if you have stumbled across this webinar but don't yet have an account on BMT, then you're going to want to go to bigmictrading.com and click on the register button. It'll be over here somewhere on the top left. It takes about 30 seconds and it's free, and that will create an account. And the reason that you need that is as we go along and do the presentation, you're going to want to listen very carefully. Stan is going to talk about the company, about the platform, and then he's going to be quizzing you. And the first person to correctly answer the quiz question is going to be the winner of the prizes. Okay, so I think we've got 4 different questions in this webinar, and whoever the winner is will need to give me their BMT username so that we can coordinate and get the prize over to you. So you're going to want to pay attention to the webinar and then pay attention during the quiz and just type in the answer into the box, and I'll pick the first answer. I'll send it over to Stan. He'll let me know if it's correct, and if it is, then you win. Okay guys, so like normal with our GoToWebinar software, you won't be able to see any other person's questions. Only myself and Stan can see the questions that are being asked. There are quite a few people in the room today, so if your question gets skipped, feel free to wait 5 minutes or so and just ask it again. Maybe we didn't see it. And then of course at the end, if anybody has any remaining questions, you could always ask them on BMT, or I'm sure Stan will give you some contact information as well. All right guys, so I want to thank Stan for being here and doing this presentation, and I want to thank you guys for being here and making BMT what it is today. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Stan.
Celebrating the 2-year anniversary of Big Mike's Forum. We really appreciate the community that all the interactions and the advice that take place here. Big Mike has had some input on the some of the features, such as the project management. He's the one who suggested it, and we listen and we implement. Perfect. Okay. So once again, thank you, everybody. This is going to be more of an introductory webinar, just going over the different parts of MultiCharts, some of the things that are happening now, what's going to happen. So it's not going to be too detailed in terms of the advanced features. I'm going to talk about it for maybe 30, 40 minutes. After that, I'm going to open it up to you so you can ask more specific questions that maybe you've been saving up or you're more familiar with the platform, and we can address those, okay? So MultiCharts, just the basic history of it is it's been around for about 5-6 years. It started out by Dennis Globa, our CEO, and he, at first, they made utilities for TradeStation, but they got frustrated by some of the limitations. Maybe Mike was talking about them. So they decided to make their own platform. Now, they didn't want to reinvent the wheel, so they took the good things and improved on the things that they thought could be improved. So hence the name MultiCharts. So the first thing is the openness of the platform. That's the key thing, freedom of choice, and that's kind of the motto that we stick with. You are able to hook up 20 different data feeds and about 10 different brokers right now, and we're constantly adding more. So what I'm going to go through is the process of kind of setting everything up, different interfaces, and then going forward. So what you see in front of you is the new MultiCharts 7, which is currently in Beta 4. We are nearing on the release, as Big Mike said. Beta 5 is expected to be released either this week or beginning of next week, shortly followed by the release candidate, with the official release coming on or before July 13th. So this is almost a finished product, and the key introduction was manual trading. Before, MultiCharts was strictly automated, but we did add manual trading capabilities to kind of give the traders what they want to see and what we, kind of expand the markets. So the part on the right, this is the newly added trade panel, we call it. You're able to place orders on the chart. These are some exit strategies, exit automation that you can apply to your orders. I'll do some later. You can choose the different brokers from the drop-down. You can do the orders by clicking on the screen. It is mouse sensitive, so where you click will change the price. Price does change. We also have obviously the dome. Let me pull it up for you. So we have the dome here. It looks like this, and the product is still improving, which is why we always ask for feedback from traders and the Big Mike's trading community. So we did get a lot of good feedback that we incorporated, because our goal is to kind of give what traders want to see. It's the best way. So same kind of trade panel here. You can trade from here. And a very good feature that we thought is convenient is this trade bar up here. Now you see some are green, some are red. The green ones are connected, currently active connection to the broker. Red one is not. But the cool thing is you can trade through multiple brokers at the same time. So for example, I want to trade the ES September contract for Interactive. I just enter the name here, and I choose what order type I want to place. As you can see, the additional windows pop up based on the order type. You choose how much you want. You choose the particular price. You can kind of conveniently pick a price that's, bid or ask way. You can choose the account, the lifetime of the order, and either buy or sell. Okay? And you can immediately switch to another account that you got somewhere else, such as, let's say, Zenfire, and you can type in a contract. If you don't know the contract, you can click on the little spyglass, looking glass over there, and you get a list, and you can pick the one that you want to trade, and boom, it appears, and you can do that one at a different broker. You don't have to disconnect and reconnect at the same time. Okay, I can see some questions popping up. I'll get to those later. Okay, guys, just towards the end. So overall, multi-charts, that's what's new. Now, to get started, usually when you download either the free version or the full version, and I'll cover the difference later, you start at this place called the Quote Manager. Now, you can get at most things in multi-charts in 2 or 3 or 4 different ways. One of the ways is from the toolbar, Run Quote Manager. Another one is always File, New, Quote Manager, or from your desktop. So when you open it up, you get this window. It's a storage and organizational place for all of your symbols and all of your data. It's very flexible. It's kind of like the global server in TradeStation 2000i, of which TradeStation later got rid of. But any data that you load is available locally for you to do with as you please. Move to another computer or work with or edit or export, import, whatever. There is a tree on the left you can filter through by either different types of instruments or exchanges. You can look at them all. You can filter by data feed. You can filter by name, description. It's up to you. When you right-click on one, you get a whole bunch more options. You can edit a symbol, add, delete, import data from an ASCII file that you got sitting somewhere or downloaded, export, edit. You can remove bad ticks or something. You can connect symbol. Very useful for collecting real-time data from somebody that doesn't provide historical backfill, like fixed connections such as TT. So you can collect real-time data without having to make a chart. Data usually comes in on demand. When you make a chart, data comes in. Close the chart, data stops. If you want to keep it on all the time, you can connect the symbol, and you can even choose which fields you want to collect. Ticks or minutes or days or some or all, or you can check all, apply to all, and you're done. Okay. So you always start off by hooking up the data source that you are working with. I'll show you all the ones that we do have supported. I usually work with IQ feed. That's the one I find most reliable, easiest, kind of. And we got delayed accounts, so we don't pay for them, but for people who do pay for them, it's a good bang for the buck. Okay, so here you pick the data feed that you want. In this case, IQ feed or somebody. Each one's got different instructions to set up, so some people do get confused. We are addressing this problem. We're making tutorial videos now. They should be available hopefully by the time of the release. So if you got any questions on how to hook something up, you just watch the video, and you're good. So for IQ feed, in our case, we would click settings typically, enter our login, password. And for those of you with cumulative delta, we made this feature specifically whereby minute and daily bars are constructed out of ticks. If you do cumulative delta, you gotta tick this option here, and then all of those daily bars will get ticks downloaded into them. Okay, so you hook up your data feed, and then you got to do is add your symbols. You can do that from here. For the people that do have symbol lists, most of them do. Some don't, like MB Trading. For them, you got to do it manually. But let's go with IQ feeds, and you get this window that you kind of work with a lot because Quote Manager is on demand. What you work with, you got to add it. Okay, so futures, you can either look them all up, but there's going to be a lot, or you can look up the one that you need. As you can see on the bottom, there's a connection log. You can kind of troubleshoot and see what's going on with your connection. Boom, spits out the list of symbols. We pick the one we want. Speaking of custom futures, IQ feed does provide server-side custom futures, so they glue it together themselves. It's easier for the user, so you can just grab that one, click add it successfully. It's now in our list at the CME exchange. So if we look at the CME exchange, IQ feeds, there's our symbol. Okay, and you do this as many times as you need to. So after that, once you're done setting up, you're out of there, and what you come to MultiCharts. Now it's time basically to do looking at charts, technical analysis, so on and so forth. So I got lots of stuff happening here. I'm going to arrange it all so you can see different things. I got different data feeds, different everything happening. So I have, for instance, a chart, a daily chart from of Cisco from, who's it from? Free Quotes. From Free Quotes, basically just the typical chart. It's flexible. You can, everything is interactive. You can move it back and forth to kind of get at everything. Everything is context sensitive. Whatever you right click on, it'll open a menu for that thing usually. Or if you double click on something, chances are you can interact with it. You can change appearances, lots of stuff, little stuff to play with here. You know, change the bar spacing, the right margin, or something like that, or you know, colors, everything. So that's a chart. Typical open, high, low, close chart for a daily Free Quotes data feed. Now, it's got an indicator applied to it. The cool thing about MultiCharts, and some people, well, most people like it a lot, is the fact that you can combine multiple time frames. So a minute, an hour, and a day on the same chart. You can do that from different data providers if you wish to. And on top of that, you can merge historical and real-time feeds from different providers into a single data stream. So let me go into that in a little bit more detail. So here, I got multiple data streams in one chart. Everything's perfectly aligned. If you look at it, I mean, the bars are all aligned. These are the same time frame. They are all 1 minute charts, but I've got trade, ask, and bid. This is going to be useful for extended back testing when I'm going to do it a bit later. Okay. Now, I did have a chart with multiple time frames. There it is. So I've got ES September from Interactive Brokers. We've got the 1 minute at the top. Then we've got the 5 minutes, and then we've got the 1 hour. And then we've got a MACD at the bottom. So what that's useful for is to confirm longer-term trends. Can you get real-time data from TradeStation? Just going to answer this one. Yes, you can. It's in the data feeds, in the supported data feeds. This indicator that you see applied over top of the 1 minute series is actually based on, if you double click it, it's based on the 5 minute series. Okay, it's shown over top of the first one, but it's actually calculated on the 5 minute. And that, if you do a couple of that, you know, the 1 hour or the daily, you can confirm the longer term trends to be sure that it is going where you're going. The only one symbol per chart is tradable. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a strategy running up here. Only the top one is tradable, but you can reference in your code data 2, data 3, data 4, data 5, and up to 50 like that. So I can only trade the 1 minute, but I could reference them in my code. Okay? So this is multiple time frames. They're all perfectly aligned. Again, this is a new feature in MultiCharts 6. MultiCharts 7, MultiCharts 6 didn't do that so well. MultiCharts 7 does because of some under-the-hood improvements. Okay, so that's the charting component. Again, I do have some exotic charts up. We call them exotic. Renko, point and figure, Kagi, 3-line break or just line break. You can make it 2, 3, 4. And we do have a new one in MultiCharts 7, the Heikinashi, that you can see up here. So different examples. All of these are constructed out of ticks. So you will need tick data, of which IQFeed gives 4 months, I believe, to draw these. Okay. So these are exotic chart types. Now let's look at the market scanner briefly. Market scanner is a cold window. TradeStation's got a radar screen. essentially, it's a cool window. Okay. Not very difficult. What's different about ours, let's say the radar screen in TradeStation, what that does is filter stuff on the server side and then spits out the result. Ours is different because we are a standalone application. This, you add the symbols that you want to filter through. So first add them to the quote manager, then out of the quote manager you add them here and you watch them. You can scan for opportunities. So it's only the ones that you added that you can actually filter through. You can add different indicators. As you can see up here, I added Bollinger Bands and I got ADX and average true range. And I can sort according to different columns to identify possible opportunities based on my own criteria. So percent change, okay, what if I have this one? Maybe I don't want it anymore, so I got to go dump it. So what I do is right-click and go create chart window. And if my system wasn't so bogged down, it would open rather faster. The whole point is you can capitalize on what you see in there by opening up a chart, opening up the trade panel here, and trading it. Okay. Or after looking at the scanner, you can just type it up here and trade from the top trade bar. Okay. So that's the scanner. When you do trade, you will be needing this order and position tracker. Very, 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 very useful tool. It was less useful in MultiCharts 6. MultiCharts 7, we made it interactive, meaning it's not just for watching and monitoring anymore. What you did, at what price, you can actually interact with your orders directly from here. So if something was submitted but you want to cancel it or you want to flatten, you can right-click on an order and cancel and change order quantity, which actually doesn't cancel the order and send a new one. It modifies the existing one, so you don't lose your place in the queue. So little things like that. Accounts, you can watch multiple accounts from different brokers at the same time with whom you have an active connection. If you don't have an active connection, you won't see anything in here. So if I turn interactive brokers off, this would disappear. Shows me any open positions that I got. Strategy positions, I don't have any strategies running right now, so this is empty. And in case something goes wrong, the logs are always very useful. It's the only thing that tells us what actually happened. And you can see kind of the red stuff is usually not good, but it's helpful. All right, so now we get to what we consider one of the most important points of MultiCharts is actually the technical analysis part made possible through compatibility with Easy Language. Easy Language was developed by TradeStation a while back in the 80s, I believe, and it's become very popular because it's easy. Most traders are not programmers, so they would just like to express their idea, get it over with, and go. If you buy a car, you just want to drive. You don't want to build the car. Excuse me. So that's what we thought. It was a good idea to make our software compatible with it, even though it's much more difficult than creating our own language and creating our own rules, because we always have to see, oh, what did they do? Oh, we got to go make this change, and so on and so forth. So it's always, we can never catch up. It's always a catch-up game, whereas we could have kind of made it and forgotten it with our own language, but then people would have to learn it, a whole different one all over again. C# is another choice for some people. They say it's more powerful, and it is. An Easy Language is more flexible, but you need to know it. So if you know it, that's good. If you don't, you have to learn it. So we didn't go that route either, but it's possible to use external DLLs with our Power language. The DLLs can be written in C++, C#, whatever you wish, and you can call them from within the script, do your calculations out there, or send orders, or some people do that, and get the calculations back in here. So you still have access to that flexibility and powerful language, but you have, if you don't want it, you don't have to. All right. So that was kind of the key thing. Here I've got a chart. Once it maximizes. of NVIDIA. One day, it's actually in playback mode. I'll show that after too. Kicked it back to real time. So let's remove what I have on here, and then we'll apply it back again. Oops. So what I'm going to do is remove it. Okay, we're going to have a plain chart open. If you want to apply an indicator or a strategy, you right-click, go Insert Study. And here you see a list of all of the pre-built studies that come with MultiCharts. They are included. You can use them for as long as you wish. So all the stuff here, you can open it, take the code out, put the code in, modify, whatever you like. So indicators, we've got a volume indicator at the bottom. Signals are building blocks of strategies. One or more signal is a strategy with certain conditions designed to either buy or sell after something happens. We built them like building blocks. So you see letters after the name. LE means long entry, SE means short entry, long exit, short exit. Okay, so you can mix and match if you want to do like a long entry with a long exit, long entry with a long exit. You can do that. If you always want to reverse your positions, you can do that as well. We just thought it was easier to manage. You can combine yours into 1, 2, 3, 10, whatever you like. So channel breakout, LESE, I'm always in a position. So I'd select my 2, and I'm going to click OK. Before I do that, just want to point out the add-ons. These are paid indicators, paid, included in the platform. You cannot use them until you pay the developers. It doesn't come to us. MultiCharts just serves as a potential usage platform and a vessel to deliver these. If you have heard about them or something, you go to their website, you pay them the fee, they give you the password, you apply it to your chart, you use it. Okay, so you cannot see the code of these guys, but if you pay for it, you can use it on your chart. So already in here, no need to do anything else. So let's apply a strategy. This pop-up window pops up. You can do lots of stuff here. I'll go through these things quickly. If you click close, it gives you some more options of what to do. Whoa. Chose something I didn't mean to. Remove. Okay, so we have a strategy. Blue is buy, red is sell. It is automatically backtested at the very beginning of the chart after we apply it. So basically the ones are winning trades, red are losing. If you want to see how you did, you can go to View Strategy Performance Report. And we made a net profit of this much. You can look at other performance ratios, equity curves, all sorts of things. This report is interactive. Oops. So if you find the largest winning trade or something, and you double click on it, the chart will jump to that particular trade. Okay. So that's kind of the basis of backtesting here. You can work further with your strategy. You can set different properties, such as what your commission is, what your slippage is, scaling in, scaling out, how much you're trading if it's not defined in your strategy. This tab also deals with backtesting. We'll go through that as well on a different chart, but you can make your backtesting more accurate. And this tab deals with real auto trading. So when you're about to turn it on a live account or a sim account, you go through this tab here and you set what kind of auto trading mode you want, synchronous or asynchronous, big difference. Which broker you're going to be trading your strategy through. Did you get the settings correctly for the broker? And after you're all ready, you go OK. The strategy can also be, for those people that do optimize the strategy, they can do exhaustive or genetic. Won't go through that in much detail. It's just you pick the inputs and you find the one that generates the most or the least of whatever you specify at the beginning. Okay, so let's look at the script. That's kind of the big point here. What you see in front of you is the Power Language Editor. Our editor, where you get to look at all the easy language-like code, well, strategies and indicators. So you pick the one that you want to see. I have some open right here. As for those people who have never seen this before, it's a lot like regular English trading terms. You specify just what you want to do. Syntax is pretty simple. After you look at it for some odd minutes, you kind of get a hang of it. If you don't know what something means, like a blue word, you can click on it, press F1 at the bottom. An interactive help window will tell you what it is, how to use it, and an example. Okay? So you can kind of piece your first strategy out of the ones that are already given, besides finding some on the internet freely or reading a book and writing it, or on a forum or BMT. So this editor right here is the only, pretty much the only, and the big difference between the free version, the MultiCharts Discretionary Trader, as we call it, or the full version. The free version has everything besides this, the Power Language Editor, meaning in the free version you can trade live, no problem. It's yours free forever. We don't take commissions or anything. But you cannot import or develop your own indicators. For that, you will need the full version. So if you do any sort of backtesting, optimization, you will need the full version. The free version is called Discretion Trader because it's good for charting, supreme charting, scalping if you don't need any history, or just day trading if you got some simple built-in indicators that you can use. That's fine too. Okay? So this window here is our Power Language Editor. One more thing I wanted to go through. Mike, how are we doing for time?
It's really up to you. Take as much time as you want.
All right, cool. Well, we do have a portfolio backtester. The portfolio backtester is much like the individual chart that you saw, except on the chart we backtested only one instrument. The portfolio backtester allows you to backtest many instruments at the same time with one or more strategies. And it's really cool because it allows you to do certain money management and make sure you are only trading. So symbols know about each other being traded. If you do separate charts, you kind of have to manually say, oh, well, this one has this much money, or this one ran out, the other one's got that much money, and you kind of get, it's not too accurate. Here, they all know about each other, so if you run out of money, you won't be able to buy another one until some money frees up. We did have a built-in synthetic limitation for the portfolio backtester of 100 symbols. However, that was lifted in MultiCharts 7, so that's another good piece of news. The only limitation that remains now is the memory limitation. MultiCharts is currently a 32-bit application, which means it can use up to 2 gigs of RAM. If you load up a bunch of data and a bunch of symbols, and you start running out of memory pretty quickly. Okay, so the natural limitation of the software at the moment is about 500 to maybe 700 or 800 symbols with average historical request, whatever average is. So not too much, not too little. So, like if you're doing minute data, maybe several months per symbol. The strategy is not 100 pages, but maybe 100 lines type of thing. So 5 to 800. The good news is later on this year, hopefully sometime in the fall, we're going to present the first working version of the 64-bit version of MultiCharts. We're currently working on it, so we don't promise when the full release is going to happen, probably before the end of the year, but it will allow you to take advantage of all that modern RAM power, 10 gigs, 12 gigs, and allow you pretty much limitless, 10 years of tick data on a chart, backtesting, optimizing, doing all sorts of things. Portfolio will be able to go up to thousands of symbols, scanners as well. So that's going to be a big breakthrough. The lifetime owners of licenses will not be charged for upgrading to the 64-bit because it's not really an upgrade. You'll be able to choose which version you want, either 64-bit or 32-bit. It's going to be free, so once it's released, it's there for grabs for licensed users or for new trial users. Not sure if that's going to go for the discretionary trader. Probably will, but discretionary doesn't need that much memory because you're not really doing any backtesting or optimization. Okay, so this is the portfolio backtester. There was a similar product recently acquired by TradeStation, I think, a Portfolio Maestro. Not sure if I recall correctly, but their product, they advertised to be true tick-by-tick backtesting, and essentially what that means is all these symbols here, what some programs do is they first backtest individually just this one, and then individually just this one, and then individually just this one. And then so they do all those individual ones, and then they go back and kind of cancel the trades that could not have happened, which doesn't present an accurate picture of backtesting. What ours does is these strategies on every tick or every minute or whatever the resolution is, every minute they go through all the symbols and calculate, what do I buy, what do I sell? Then they go to the next minute, and then they go down the list again, across all of them, and make the decision again. And then one more minute over, and then down through all of them again. So what that means is you're getting an accurate representation of what would happen at any given minute of history. Okay, that's the portfolio backtester. So that's more for the strategy guys. The strategies, analysis, optimization. Now, manual trading is really what it's all about for some people. So I got a chart open of interactive brokers. Everything's connected. All I do is place an order. There is my position, and there's been some talk of P&L being expressed differently in Trader Workstation and in MultiCharts, and just to let you know, we are working on finding an acceptable solution for everybody. It's just a difference of opinions of how to calculate stuff, where to grab it from. Okay. As for just how trading goes, you got the order here. It's a position. We can now do stuff to it. We can, for instance, set up some bracket orders. All we do is left-click and drag to the order, or we right-click, say apply to open position, edit, meaning we can edit how it's going to look like, and we can save a template. A template, for example, if we like some sort of settings for the brackets that we always use, you don't need to set it from scratch all the time. You can set the ones that you like. You can do 4, I believe, per strategy, per exit strategy. And we got 5 exit strategies. Okay, so you can also double-click it which means it's going to be auto-applied to every new order. So you see that green check mark? So you're never left unprotected. If for some reason you do want to place an order without the brackets, all you do is pause it. This goes gray, do your order, and then auto-apply again for all the other ones. In the meantime, we can just click and drag. This is the target price. We can either click the price and enter the price that we want, or do it in pips. You can do more parameters. What do you want to do? Stop market, stop limit, time and force, auto attach, save as template, same thing. So placed, boom. We got filled that we're really close. So let's do another one. Should have an open position now. Let's do like here, 15, 15. You can grab and move these orders, as you just saw me do. The values in there change. Ask, ask plus 11, 12, 13. If I don't like what I'm doing, I can just press escape to undo, and it's going to go to wherever I took it from. Okay, let's get rid of this one here. So we got more room. Okay. I want to show you dependent orders, because all these strategies, just a matter of applying them, using them, dragging them onto the chart. If we do a right-click, place a limit order, or let's say a buy stop order, and then we apply brackets to that, they are not active. What that means is they're conditional orders. They will only become active, actively placed on the broker after this one is filled. Okay, so that's where they're kind of see-through, transparent. You can adjust them as well, just like you can. They are tracked locally by the software. So if something happens, these are just mythical. They don't exist on the broker. They're just tracked by us. Let's pull up a order and position tracker, just like there's my charts. You can see the status of the orders. As I said, sent, sent, sent. We've sent 3. We sent 1, 2, 3, and those 2 are not sent. You can cancel them by clicking on them and work with your position like that. If you look at the DOM for the same contract, Interactive Brokers ES September, I do not want that one. I want the ES. DOM data is messed up because it's Interactive Brokers demo. But what you should theoretically see is the matching orders. There's my profit target. Oh, there, I made some profit, looks like. And the buy stop should be up here. There's our stop. There's our thingy. And there's our profit target. So when the price goes off screen, you can see you get 5 seconds until it gets automatically recentered. This is done so as not to violate the patent by Trading Technologies for a static DOM. So it's called semi-static. If you return, it goes away. You can also have a dynamic price scale, which does not display at all near how it should with this weird data. But dynamic means your price is always centered. Okay. So that's essentially, I can show you other things such as the we have this thing called the master strategy. Now, what some people were complaining about, well, not complaining, but making good comments, is that these exit strategies, again, they're like building blocks, like we like. And when you had many of those, they started to get muddled up a little. Some did not keep track of the other ones, and it got a little hard to build. So what we did is you can either have all of those little building blocks, such as you got the individual stop loss or brackets, or profit target, or trailing stop, or break even. Okay, so you can apply those in whatever combination you like, or you can apply this thing called the master strategy. Either the master strategy or all of the other ones. Essentially, what the master strategy is a multi-level brackets, break-even, trailing stop thing. It's just a one big strategy that you can configure how you like from the get-go, and then all of its components know about the other components. So you don't get muddled up with different pieces or putting them together. You can define everything, number of levels. You can define the offset of your levels. And this one, let's say, is going to be 20. You can define how much each level is going to take for scaling in or scaling out of positions. Let's say this one does 40. The remainder is going to do 60. You can click, do you want a trailing or break even? To modify it, you click on little three dots, which seem personally confusing to me, but apparently it's a widely accepted control in the Windows world. So you click on the three dots and you can change the parameters for the trailing stops and more parameters for the time and force, auto attach, save as template, pick your favorite heart color, and that's it. So if we replace a strategy, theoretically it should appear. And I believe it's going to place the other ones once. Okay, so let's move it. Buy stop should get filled. These guys get filled. And because we only have one contract, I guess we don't. It doesn't really work out very well. So when we format the position, let's add a couple more. Let's do like 9 more. And we're going to buy. Should split them. If I didn't have one, I would have split them to 2 different levels. But yeah. Okay, so close everything out. So that's manual trading. I mean, what to use and how to use it for, I can't tell you. I can just show you that it exists. Here it is. And we kind of covered everything. The data feeds, the language, the trading, the interface. Oh, one more thing. I didn't show you how to set up the brokers. I already had them set up. When you begin, you will only have 3. You will have Interactive, Rhythmic, and Zenfire. If you want somebody else, you have to go here. File, Broker Preferences, Broker Profiles, and what you want to do is Manage. Okay, you will have 3. What you want to do is go New and create. This is not going to be in there. This is going to be one of my own. This stuff here, so let's say we want an open eCry. It's supported, but the profile is not here. So what we do is we create the profile, enter our settings. Symbol mapping is a different story, and so then you click OK, and you can give it your own custom name. So let's say this is my retirement or something. And then if you want another profile, you go to open eCry again, enter a different password or login, click OK, and you can call it, my dad's account. This is a big advantage over MultiCharts 6, where you were stuck in MultiCharts 6 with one profile, and you had to individually configure each chart. Here you can create as many profiles as you like, and some people like 5, 6, 10, whatnot. So, and you can easily connect them together separately at the top, trade whichever account you like. It's great. So right now I'm going to stop and I'm going to answer questions. After questions, I'm going to have 4 easy or somewhat easy questions for you guys. We're going to do the prizes that everyone's waiting for. 2 lifetime licenses for MultiCharts, the full version, value $1,500 each, and 2 custom hours of programming for a person and then another person. So 4 prizes total. The theme is 2, obviously to celebrate Big Mike's forum's birthday. And yeah, so let's take the questions now. I'll start from the top because those people have been waiting for a while. Is there a free?
You got about 100.
Mike, you want to say something?
You got about 100 questions here. So, and I see a lot of people asking questions right now. So I'm going to just ask that everybody be patient and understand that it may take a few minutes to get them all answered. And Stan, do you want to just give everybody your email address or some way to contact you as well in case they want to shoot you an email with a question?
That's a great idea. I was going to do that, but then I forgot. So should I say it out loud or should I type it in the window in the chat?
I'd just say it out loud, I guess, so that people watching the recording later can see it.
Yeah, okay. My name is Stan. You can contact me directly at sbokov@multicharts.com. That's S as in Sam, B as in Bravo, O as in Omega, K as in K, O as in Omega, V as in Victory, and at multicharts.com. If you have general kind of support questions, you can email the easier email support@multicharts.com, or if you can come to our live chat between 6:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. There's people there to answer your questions. And if you got sales-related questions, again, you can either email me or call our number toll-free and press 2 for sales, or 1 for tech support. Okay, so that's my contact info. Let's go through the questions. Is there a free or trial version of MultiCharts available? Yes, as I mentioned, there is a trial, 30-day trial of the full MultiCharts version with the Power Language Editor. And there's another free version called MultiCharts Discretionary Trader. That one is completely free, not tracked in any way, yours to use for as long as you wish. But it lacks the Power Language Editor. Okay. How can I create a spread in MultiCharts 7? Can I trade spreads with MultiCharts 7? You can create your own symbols, your own data, through ASCII mapping. So an ASCII file is a text file with numbers that you populate from somewhere else. Those numbers can be whatever you wish. MultiCharts can take those numbers and draw them on the chart in a continuous fashion, essentially making your own symbol. You can then trade off of that data if you wish, if you map it correctly to one of the brokers. That's a more in-depth question. When are we finally going to add shortcut keys? We are planning to add global shortcut keys, basically a user-defined interface, so you can define shortcuts for pretty much anything you like, hopefully around MultiCharts 7.1, version after the release, maybe a bit later, working on it. Is there a charge for using MultiCharts? The full version is a paid program. Our licenses are on the site. You can check it out, different prices. Trial mode for Dome/Chart Trader. I'm not sure what that means. You can trade. Can you do that with Forex as well? You can trade anything, whatever your broker supports on your data feed gives. Stocks, futures, Forex, options, indices. Mostly, it's not well suited for options, but most people do futures and stocks and forex. Okay. Can you place market if touched orders? Market if touched orders are on the wish list in the project management as a feature request. They are confirmed, which means they will be introduced at some point. Not sure when.
Actually, Stan, I'd like
Why is it called the quote manager?
I want to say something about the project management. I think I love that feature personally. Basically, for those of you guys that don't know, you can go to MultiCharts website and there's a link for the project management, and it allows everyone to create a ticket, I guess you could say, where they have an idea of how to enhance the program or if there's some type of problem they're having. And then other people can come and vote and say, yeah, I really like that idea also, or they can add their input. And, I mean, a lot of you with other platforms, you kind of get that we're going to add it to our list type of an answer. Well, now with MultiCharts, you can actually see the list. So I really like that. I really want to say thanks for implementing that.
Well, thanks, Mike. It was actually your suggestion in the beginning that we should do this. We thought about it. Yeah, it's a good idea. So we did it. It's easier for us, easier for everyone. Now, it does seem to be a lot of questions. Your advice, will I have time to go through them all, or what do you think?
Maybe just pick the most important ones and then ask everybody else to email you, because there's probably 150 questions now.
Yeah, okay. So there's probably a lot. Somebody was interested in a market replay, which I said I would show, but I'll show it quick. Essentially, it is a tool to practice where you think the market would go. It's very simple. The toolbar is at the bottom. There's a jump button. Just click the jump button, and then the cursor changes to a bar, cleverly. Open, high, low, close bar. You click at some point in that, and the chart just jumps to that point. From there, you can play the data back. Let's kick it back a little more. You can see we're in playback mode. These controls become enabled. You can just play it out now. Slow it down. Speed it up. And if you want to return to real time, you can jump to real time with that button. You can also play it tick by tick, minute by minute, day by day, and just kind of see if your sense of where the market goes is correct. As I mentioned, you can get real-time data from TradeStation, but there's no TradeStation broker is not supported. It is something that we have been talking to them about adding, but things are moving rather slowly. Okay, just scrolling through the questions here. Performance report was brought up by View Strategy Performance Report. Can you backtest in the free version? That's a good question. Theoretically, yes, you can. With the individual charts, you can apply the signals that are included in the platform to it, but that's not really much of value if you can't know what's going on inside the actual signals themselves. So theoretically, it's there, but it's not really there. And the portfolio backtester has been removed because it's clearly useless. If you don't know what's in the signals, there's no use for the portfolio backtester. Okay. Would it be possible to connect to Infinity brokers for getting data and placing orders? I believe, Mike may correct me if I'm wrong, but they are through Transact. Infinity is through Transact. We are currently connecting to Transact. Well, they are connecting. We gave them the API, and they're doing the connection. The word is it's almost done, undergoing testing, and you can expect to see Transact and Infinity futures added soon to MultiCharts. User interface is gorgeous. Thank you. I wish I heard that one more often. Still reading the questions. Is the dome you showed from MultiCharts or Interactive Brokers? Everything I showed is from MultiCharts. It showed data from Interactive, but it's our component. There's a long strategy question. Can't even read that. You can email me that. Here's a good question. Can we do custom bar periodicity? You can do this. When you go to Format Instruments, and you go Format, you can do, out of these resolutions, you can do whatever number you wish. 1, 13, 16,000 something. Ticks, contracts, points, which are range bars, we call them points or pips. Seconds, minutes, all this day stuff, right? You can do ask, bid, or trade depending on what it is that you want. Sessions, best left to default. They're defined in the quote manager. But yeah, you can do custom whatever you want out of these ones. But you cannot create your own custom bar versions. Some people have asked, can I create my own bar type? No, you cannot. You can use these ones, but you can do what you want with them. That's true. I did flash the 4 questions that I had prepared. Therefore, they are now 4 different questions. I have Mirror's account with Zenfire data feed. Now, don't think there's any way of practicing order entry. Can it be done using IB demo? This is a very good question because Zenfire Mirrors is a very popular connection for MultiCharts users, and people do ask this question a lot. What they have to resort now, because there is no server-side simulation, is to use either some other broker that does have server-side simulation, such as IB to practice. Some have suggested that MultiCharts should build in a platform sim engine like Ninja. We thought about it, and it would be very difficult to create one that is good, any good or useful, so we will not do that, most likely in the near future. But the good news is, apparently Zenfire is planning on releasing their API next month, and their new API will have server-side simulation. Therefore, they will have sim accounts that you can practice trading on, just like you can with IB. So that's something to look forward to for all the Zenfire users. Can you discuss the alert features as it pertains to scanner screener? Good question. Only indicators in MultiCharts can produce alerts, not signals. Signals can only place trades. Indicators trigger alerts, either visual, audio, or email. They can be triggered from a chart or from the scanner if the condition's met. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you apply it. If it's met, it'll be triggered, and it'll pop up either loudly or visually or in an email. When you said you can have multiple time frames on a chart, what about on tick or volume bar charts? You can mix minute bars with volume bars with hour bars, so you can mix anything with anything. That's the rule of thumb. Is there anywhere to download updates for the MultiCharts DT version? Yes, on our website, there's always the latest version. On our blog, on our Twitter, on our Facebook. If you follow us there, you will always have the latest news of what's going on and where to get stuff. Do you have connection for Canadian brokers? All the brokers are listed on our website. Interactive, I believe, supports Canadian stocks, but There's interactivebrokers.ca, but that's about it, I think. If I want to auto trade on a server and trade at home at the same time, does that require 2 licenses? Yes. You need 2 licenses if you want to run MultiCharts from 2 computers at the same time. Okay. Case bars. Can you get case bars on this? I had a similar question before. It's a different way of point bars. Case bars, I believe, there is a, email me that question, because there is a way, there's a command line here that you can do not 5 points, but 5 points old. So it's not accessible through the menu, only through this command line here. But essentially it's a different way of calculating, like the case bars. Trade bar disappeared. You can right-click and get it back. View. Not sure. It's a good question. It's somewhere here. There. Show trade bar. Okay, almost at the bottom for the questions. MultiCharts phone support, can we call in? Yes, you can, between the hours of 6:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Earlier the better. Can you trade the market replay? That's a very good question. At the moment you cannot. You can just place drawings like vertical lines and bottom lines. And the reason is that we don't have a built-in simulator. Okay? But that's a good feature request. Are you connected with Awanda? No, not at the moment. We're kind of talking to them. Again, moving slowly. See what we can do. Can MultiCharts display market profile? Yes, it can. I believe there's a TPO, time price opportunity, one featured on the gallery on our site. It's not in the default, but it can be done, and gotten it in here. Is there a quick start guide? That's kind of the, okay, I'm just going to go through the last one. The cutoff is the last one that I see there now by Brett Etter. Can MultiCharts, is there a MultiCharts quick start guide available? We are currently making videos. There's going to be a learning center. That's short videos are going to tell you everything you need to know to get started. Not there yet, but we'll get there within a month, hopefully. Can you optimize in the free version? You can. I never tried. You most likely can, but again, only with the built-in signals. When is release candidate MultiCharts 7 due? In a couple of weeks. Any desires to create an auto spreader similar to XTrader? No plans at the moment. You can add the feature request to the project management if you wish to see it. Can I trade Forex along with futures? Yes, you can. Does it require the FXCM data feed? No, it does not. You can pick any feed, do the symbol mapping, and trade any broker. Just have to translate the symbol correctly. Okay, that's it for the questions. Mike, would you like to talk about something? Because I ruined my questions. So I have to make new ones.
No problem. So as Stan is thinking up some new questions here, what we're going to do is he's going to, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Stan, you're going to just read the question out loud, and then the first person to correctly answer, and you just type into the box your answer. I'm going to forward those over to Stan, and I'll ask everybody to be patient, because normally what happens is I'll get about 200 answers in about 5 seconds time, so I have to scroll on my screen and find the first one, and then I'll send it to Stan. He'll tell me if it's correct, and then I'm going to ask you for your BMT username, and then I'll contact you via private message, and we'll arrange to get the prize to you. Now we're only gonna, there's going to be you only can win one prize in this webinar. Okay, so one person can't win more than one prize. All right, guys. So we're going to have 4 different winners today. So Stan, just let me know whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, I made one up, and I guess while you're sorting through that one, I'll make the other ones up.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of impromptu, but what can you do? So the first question is, is there a built-in limitation for the number of symbols you can backtest in the portfolio backtester in MultiCharts 7?
Okay, and I just got 1,000,001 answers. Let me go back and find the first one.
Maybe that was a stupid question. But.
No, this is what's been happening all month long. Everybody types all at once. I have to find the first one.
It was a binary question, so now we need to do something different.
Okay, so there's the first answer, Stan. You can let me know if that answer is correct.
No, I don't see it.
Should be the last one on your screen.
Yeah, that was correct.
Okay, so
that's correct.
Okay, and I apologize for pronouncing this incorrectly, but FOP, if you will send another message in and tell me your BMT username. And the correct answer, by the way, is no. There is no limitation. Okay, so I've got your username, and I'll contact you in private message. So while Stan is thinking up the next question, I just want to remind everybody that you can send an email to support@multicharts.com with questions, or directly to Stan, which I've typed into your chat, and I'll type it again for everybody. It's sbokov@multicharts.com, and he'll answer your questions. And Stan, I saw a question that I kind of want to know the answer to, by the way. Do you guys offer phone support? Because that's kind of unusual if you do, and I'd like to know that. Phone
support, yes, we do. Yes, we do. A phone tech support, it's not the best way, because difficult technical questions are best addressed either in writing or through a remote connection to your computer. But we do offer phone support. If you want to call us and talk to someone to answer your questions, we can do that.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Definitely an advantage. Okay, so just let me know when you're ready for the next question.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question here goes. What is the name of the programming language in MultiCharts?
Okay, and I have to wait for my screen to catch up with the answers. Give me a second. Okay, there's the first answer.
Correct.
Okay, Roddick, if I'm saying that correctly, Radek, if you will send me another okay. I've got your username. So congratulations, and the answer for everybody is Power Language. Okay, and you know what, Stan? I just realized, since we have two different prizes, what were those prizes for? You decide. Is it for the license or for the 2 hours of custom programming?
Should we do a random draw among those four at the end?
Sure. Yeah.
Just kind of random. Yeah, because I don't, people they compete for and stuff. Okay.
Sure.
So, okay. Next question here goes. You're gonna have to do some typing. Name all 5 exotic chart types in MultiCharts.
Okay. So we're looking for an answer that has 5 answers. People are having to think on this one.
I think this is going to be a license question.
Here's the first one. Let me know if that's correct or incorrect.
That is incorrect.
Okay. Here's the next one. Whoops, I'm sorry. My mouse skipped. Here's the correct. Well, it's really hard because it's scrolling. Hang on. All right. Here's the correct second answer, or that I don't know if it's right or not, but it's the second one.
Second one is correct.
Okay. Michael Bauer, if you will send me your BMT username. So the correct answer was Kagi, Point and Figure, 3-Line Break, Heiken-Ashi, and Renko.
Correct.
Okay, I've got your username. All right, so we need, one more, right?
Yes, one more And once again, please fill in the awkward silence while I think.
All right, so on the MultiCharts website, there's also a live chat option for support, which is really pretty useful. You can talk to someone, right then. And I forget the hours, but it's pretty much whenever the market's open. And you can go in there and get somebody to answer your question right then. And if they need to, they can also ask you for your permission to kind of remote into your computer so they can see what you see. And that, of course, can be really useful to troubleshoot or anything like that. So I think that's another, I was talking before the webinar started about reasons that I switched to MultiCharts, and it was all of these types of things that, that all come together, and I really believe in the developers, and I really believe in what they're doing and what they're accomplishing and the way that they're doing it. So you can count me as a happy customer. All right, Stan, do I need to talk some more, or are you ready to go?
Well, no, I think we're good to go. This one is going to be kind of a trivia. I did mention it once during the webinar, so think up. MultiCharts 7 official release will be on or before this date.
Okay. Give me a second. Okay, here's the first answer. Let me know if that's correct.
Correct.
Okay. Neil Anderson, if you will type in your BMT username.
I think the last two were a little more difficult. I know I said the random draw, but it's kind of the last two questions were more difficult, so they should get the licenses and the other guys should get the...
Okay, the correct date was July 13th, so you guys know the answer. Okay, so you want to do the last two were for the licenses and the first two for the 2 hours of custom programming time.
Yeah. Sorry to anybody whose hopes I got up and then brought down, but the first two questions objectively were a lot easier, and the last two questions were harder. So,
well,
sorry.
Hang on 1 second, Stan. Let's do this. The one guy that won the programming, he says that it's useless to him, so let's not give it to him. So I'm going to take his name off. And you want to ask one more question, and then we'll let somebody that actually wants to win the 2 hours of custom programming, win it. Because I don't want to give it to somebody that doesn't want to receive it.
Okay, fair enough. For all those guys, there's also the free version. Obviously, it's yours for the taking if you don't get the license today. We're going to be doing more stuff later on, and just you can use the free version. So, for the 2 hours of programming, here's a question that I'm going to make up now. Damn, that's what preparation's good. Okay. No. Okay, give me a second.
While we're waiting for Stan, how many of you guys have already been using MultiCharts, and how many of you have never even used it at all? Not the trial or anything. I'm just kind of curious. Okay, so getting a lot of people saying that they've not yet tried it, haven't tried it yet, going to try it, using it and loving it, been using it for years, using the free version and loving it. Okay, lots of free versions actually. I've been using it for a few months. It's great. So we got a good mix of people that have never used it, people that are using the free version, and people that have been using the professional version for a while. Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Okay, excellent. I still don't have a question. Mike, maybe you got one?
Okay, put me on the spot. Let's see.
Yeah. I mean, I did prepare questions, guys. I'm sorry. I just...
Yeah, we shared the wrong monitor at the top of the webinar.
That's right. So, that's kind of interesting.
Okay. Geez. I'm looking, and some of the answers are given away on your screen right now that you're showing. So I'm trying to find an answer that wouldn't show up. Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. Someone's suggesting the questions in the chat. So let's make it a two-part question. How about that? What's the how many brokers and data feeds are currently supported? So it's two answers. Two answers. Okay, and then Stan, I'm going to send it to you, and you can tell me if it's right.
Uh-huh.
Trying here. It's scrolling by.
That's one of the questions that was originally flashed. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Well, so this is for the 2 hours of programming time. Andrew Thomas, if you will type in your BMT username. So the correct answer was 20 data feeds and 10 brokers. So Andrew, type in your BMT username, please.
Is Andrew the one who suggested the question?
No, luckily not.
Okay.
All right, guys. So what we'll do is I'll contact everybody via private message. I'm still waiting for Andrew to type in his BMT username. I'll contact you guys and arrange for the okay, I got it. And arrange for the prizes to be sent to you and emailed to you and et cetera. So we'll work with Stan to get that, make that happen. And then for any of you that have any follow-up questions, you got Stan's contact information, shoot him an email. You can also find him on BMT. You can send a private message to the username MultiCharts. That's him. All right, guys, so I want to thank Stan for being here. I want to thank all of you for being here, and I want to remind everybody we have 2 more webinars this month. The one next week on the 22nd is for another platform that we're giving away some 2 round-trip tickets to Las Vegas from Ninja Trader, so you might check that out. And then the final one at the end of the month is Al Brooks, and he's talking about his 3 new books, and we're going to give away 10 autographed copies of those books. All right, guys, the recording will be posted for this webinar later today or tomorrow, and if you guys have follow-up questions, you can always post them on the forum. See everybody later.
Thanks, everyone.